Well, as we've been reporting, the head of the Environment Agency, Lord Smith, has been speaking about how he wishes that he'd probably pushed a little bit harder to get money for dredging in the Somerset levels. He's been speaking to reporters this morning.
Who's to blame for the floods?
The weather. We have faced the most extreme weather circumstances that we've ever had in a winter. It's been the wettest winter on record. We know that from the Met Office just in the last few days. And when, for example, on the River Thames at the moment, which is still rising, we have 14 severe flood warnings in place around the Thames, Chertsey, Maidenhead, Windsor. That is as a result of completely waterlogged ground, very full rivers, and yet more rain falling.
Eric Pickles said your agency gave the wrong advice.
He's wrong. Our agency were following government rules, government guidelines. We put money on the table for dredging 12 months ago, but the maximum that we were allowed by government rules to put on the table, the maximum was £400,000. We did so. Others didn't come to the table at the time.
Do you believe dredging is now the answer?
Dredging is part of the answer. I've always said that. And I think what we need is not just to start dredging when the rivers go down and we can actually get at the silt at the bottom of the rivers, but we also need to look at a whole range of other things. We need to look at land management higher up the catchment. We need to look at renovating some of the old pumping stations. There are lots of other things that need to be done. It's all going to cost money, but the money is now on the table from the government.
Is it all about money?
There's an awful lot about money here because the public purse is limited and we have huge demands all around the country. What we have to do is try and make those go as far as they possibly can to provide the best flood risk benefit.
Now the BBC has seen maps that seem to show that it was a plan to let the Somerset levels flood.
No, there's no such plan. And I was told just this morning about this so-called map. It seems to be an old document. It certainly has not been Environment Agency policy for the 5.5 years that I've been chairman.
Is it true that you're the right man to lead the agency? Eric Pickles doesn't seem to think so.
Well, that's Eric Pickles' view. I think he's wrong. I've been inundated with messages of support from our staff up and down the country who've said thank you for standing up for us, because that's what a chairman has to do.
What is your message to the people that are flooded at the moment?
It's that I have absolutely every sympathy. That there is huge distress that's always caused by flooding, and there are some 5,000 homes around the country now that have been flooded over the course of the last couple of months. That's a real tragedy for everyone who's experienced it. What we will carry on trying to do is to provide the best flood defences we can for this country in the face of increasingly extreme and erratic weather.
Will you apologise to people as Eric Pickles did yesterday?
What I've said is that I certainly apologise for not having done enough last year to persuade other people to come to the table along with the Environment Agency to get that dredging started. I probably should have done more to twist arms with the various councils, with the drainage boards, with other landowners. That, yes. But what I can't apologise for are the government rules that restricted absolutely what the Environment Agency was able to do.
So who do you blame? The Treasury?
I blame the weather, and I blame the limitations on funding, which are always going to be there, but we can do better.
Well, that was Lord Smith, Chair of the Environment Agency, talking to our reporter Paul Lambert.